Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the Friday, February 10th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Really a lot to talk about here. A huge shot of cold air coming this weekend. This is going to be an attention-grabbing blast of Arctic air for sure. It's going to be very, very chilly across the region and really downright cold when you get down to it. Also some snow, a pretty good bit of snow in many mountain spots coming up tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. And some possibilities with a couple of systems next week. And we might see a little bit of snow try to make it out into the foothills in Piedmont with a system on Tuesday. I'll get into that here as the current edition of the video unfolds. There's the radar imagery this morning. The first system to move on in, causing a lot of rain. Almost everything you see on the radar is rain this morning across the southern plain to the lower Mississippi Valley into the southern parts of Alabama and even southwestern Georgia. There are a few wet snowflakes involved here in Missouri and Arkansas, but again, by and large, this is rain at the moment. But let's take a peek here at the watch, warning, and advisory situation here. And most of the white shady counties here in Kentucky and Ohio, western parts of West Virginia, and then down into the western parts of Virginia and the easternmost Tennessee border county, or Tennessee counties there bordering North Carolina. Those are all winter weather advisories, but a little portion here of West Virginia, in the eastern parts of West Virginia, such as places like Snowshoe, it's a winter storm watch that's currently in effect. Let me show you what the RPM is printing out for snow totals with this, and this is going to be a pretty good upslope snow event. Many of the favored areas, probably in the North Carolina mountains, getting 2 to 4 inches with some localized higher amounts, and even more up in West Virginia. And I know it's a little tough to see the state lines here, but you're looking at eastern parts of West Virginia right there up into southwestern PA, and there could easily be some 6-8 inch plus amounts in that corridor. So pretty good snow event. Now let's talk temperatures. Here comes the cold air. It is plunging southeastward. At the time I'm cutting this video, you have some sites that are colder than 10 below zero in parts of North Dakota. And that cold air is plunging very quickly to the southeast, and that's what we will be in the midst of this weekend. Let's look at the upper levels. Today, you can see that trough carving itself out over the middle part of the country, and here's what it looks like by tomorrow evening, Saturday evening. There you go. Big-time trough in the eastern U.S. And then we watch for little systems, little disturbances in the flow rippling our way. I mentioned yesterday that the system on Tuesday, if it brought the precipitation in early enough Tuesday morning, could involve some snow. Now with the 0Z run of models, the disturbance responsible for that is a little weaker, and the reason is this: pretty good piece of energy carving out in the western U.S., and that means this system cannot amplify quite as much. So there's been a decrease in the precipitation amounts, and we'll see how that fluctuates on the modeling as we go through the weekend. And finally, we get that next system through toward the end of next week. Now let's take it day by day. Today, clouds definitely increasing here across the Carolinas. Could even be some rain in parts of the coastal plain this afternoon and this evening. And then with the system moving through tonight, I think clouds, maybe a couple of showers and some sprinkles once you're east of the mountains, but just not a huge deal in terms of precipitation east of the mountains. But again, this will be snow kicking into gear. All in this area. And then watch as we get into tomorrow afternoon, the upslope machine will be in full effect here. Stiff west and northwest winds really cranking the snow in those favored upslope areas. Now, for the Piedmont and the foothills tomorrow, the wind is really going to be significant. Those northwest winds will be cranking. We'll have some winds maybe gusting to 40 miles per hour or so, and our highs tomorrow occurring in the morning with falling temperatures tomorrow afternoon. Falling all the way down to the upper teens and lower 20s by Sunday morning. We'll probably have some wind chill values in the single digits Sunday morning. And then sunshine all day Sunday. But I still think it's going to be tough to make it to 40 in many spots on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a pretty good shot of cold air, and then lows with that high pressure right overhead Sunday night and Monday morning, again heading down into the upper teens and lower 20s. Now, let me say this. If you have a ski trip planned this weekend, let's go back to Sunday. If you have a ski trip planned for the upcoming weekend, the ski conditions will be fabulous at all the resorts here across the region. Lots of powder conditions, again, some natural snow cranking Saturday and Saturday night. But it's going to be cold, really, really cold. You need to bundle up. It's going to be very windy, too. Many, many layers needed. But if you can brave the cold, the ski conditions will be about as good as they have been all year long. Now, as we get into Monday, we'll see clouds increasing again ahead of that next disturbance, and this is what the GFS looks like with the precip Tuesday morning. Notice a decent amount of precip in Alabama, Georgia, and western South Carolina, but the amounts really taper off into North Carolina. The Canadian is the wettest of the models with this incoming system on Tuesday. And again, it's just really going to be a matter of if we can get any decent precipitation. Now, let me draw that a little better. If we can't get any decent precipitation into these areas, say prior to 7, 8, 9 o'clock Tuesday morning, there definitely could be a period of snow involved, but I just don't know how much actual precip there'll wind up being with that other disturbance diving in out west. And again, if the precip is delayed by any amount, it's just all rain anyway. There's nothing to hold the cold air in, so it's all completely timing dependent. Later on, there's Wednesday of next week, kind of in between systems, and GFS brings the next system in on Thursday. We'll see. There's a lot of timing differences and overall handling of the systems differences there on the modeling later on next week. Okay, that is it for today. Everybody have a great weekend. Bundle up, and God bless.